Our top story this hour, a fire broke out on a container ship in Dubai's main port following an explosion. Authorities say the fire has been doused to a level where it's under control now, and no casualties have been reported yet. Now, the cause of the blast remains unknown. Residents reported seeing their doors and windows trembling from the shockwave. The container that caught fire was on board a ship at Ajebeleli Airport, and the vessel was preparing to dock with 14 crew on board. Firefighters tackled the blaze on the large vessel stacked with containers, as 3 of the 130 containers on the ship held flammable materials. The port is capable of handling aircraft carriers and was the U.S. Navy's busiest port of call outside of the United States in 2017. The port authority said that it was taking all the necessary measures to ensure the normal movement of ships in the port continues without any disruption. There are 8,000 companies based at the free zone, which contributed 23% of Dubai's gross domestic product last year. It is the Middle East's largest trade zone. The city-state is now home to more than 3 million people, mostly foreigners, compared with only 15,000 inhabitants in the 1950s. And issuing a stern warning to Hungary, European Union President Ursula von der Leyen has said that the country will face the wrath of EU law if they do not repeal the anti-LGBTQ+ legislation.
This law puts homosexuality and gender resignment on a par with pornography. This law uses the protection of children, to which we are all committed, as an excuse to severely discriminate against people because of their sexual orientation. This law is disgraceful.
Dieses Gesetz ist schändlich. Es widerspricht zutiefst.
If Hungary doesn't set things right, the Commission will use the powers invested in it as guardian of the treaties. Let's be clear. We will use these powers whichever member state impedes European law.
Artikel 2 unseres Vertrages verankert sind.
Although von der Leyen did not elaborate on the consequences, but according to the EU lawmakers, such steps could mean a ruling by the European Court of Justice and freezing EU funds for Budapest. This is not the first time that EU has condemned Hungary for its regressive laws. Last month, the law was sharply criticized by EU leaders at a summit. EU President Ursula von der Leyen called the law a shame last month. The Hungarian government has slammed the EU chief on her recent remarks, calling it an unprecedented campaign by the EU against Budapest. Cabinet chief said, and I'm quoting here, "Brussels cannot say who should raise children and how. Child protection is the priority of the Hungarian government, no matter that Brussels wants to let LGBTQ+ activists into kindergarten schools, and we refuse to do so." The law was introduced by Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orbán. It bans portrayal of homosexuality in school educational material and TV programs for children below the age of 18. The government says it's meant to protect children, but critics of the law say it links homosexuality with pedophilia. Another thing is to note here is that last year, in alteration to the Hungarian constitution, the definition of families was changed to exclude transgender and other LGBTQ+ individuals. It defined the basis of family as marriage and the parent-child relationship, clearly stating that the mother is a woman and the father is a man. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.